Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Milan. Shout out to Amaya. Shout out to Aaliyah. Shout out to London. Shout out to Markellius. Shout out to Serenity. Shout out to Maddie. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Isabel. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Elliot. Shout out to Kyrie. Shout out to Marcus. Shout out to Abu Zitin. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Reed. Shout out to Jet. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to Astrid. Shout out to Rosalie. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Alana. Shout out to Manny. Shout out to Nyrel. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Corals. Shout out to Ant. Shout out to Nate. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Naraya. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to Gavin. Shout out to Mateo. Shout out to Autumn. Shout out to Shams. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Berkeley. Shout out to Billy. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to Izzy. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Eliana. Shout out to Elijah. Shout out to Lexi. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Hope. Shout out to Thank you, Victoria. Shout out to Victoria Lalonde. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Lalonde. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to Marcus. Shout out to Poseidon. Shout out to Hope. Shout out to Bryn. Shout out to AJ. Shout out to Renee. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Cohen. Shout out to Rosales. Shout out to Ariella. Shout out to Megan. Shout out to Ariel. Shout out to Audrey. Shout out to Asil. Shout out to Solomon. Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Callie. Shout out to Reagan. Shout out to Bryn. Shout out to Indy. Shout out to Samira. Shout out to Kennedy. Shout out to Clins. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Mila. Shout out to Ryan. Or Ryan. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Mason. Shout out to Julissa. Shout out to Eileen. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Cordelia. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Stevie. Shout out to Mackenzie. a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Mac D. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Wassam. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Jacqueline. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Joseph. Shout out to Ryder. Shout out to Asil. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Christina. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Arna. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Colton. Shout out to Navy. Shout out to Ronnie. Shout out to Kathy. Shout out to Cole. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Ollie. Alim Kamitov. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. I'm so sorry that I messed up your name. Shout out to Griselina Espina Sandoval. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Natalie Gypsy Nat Smith. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Cairo. Shout out to Albert. Shout out to Darnell. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Jonathan. Shout out to Agnes. Shout out to Emily. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to these people. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. On to the next page. Thank you so much for being here. Please write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Also check out my channel if you want to see what else I post. I post other content. My channel's SDIY Corner. Shout out to Cairo. Shout out to Abdul. Shout out to Nina. Shout out to Tatum. Shout out to Liz. Shout out to Millie. Shout out to Rachi. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Samia. Or Samaya. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to Brad. Shout out to Ellie. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Paisley. Shout out to Austin. Shout out to Remy. Shout out to Alonso. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Kira. Shout out to Abdurrazak. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jakari. Shout out to Christina. Shout out to Bill. Shout out to Kathleen. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Angela. Already put Angela. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Naomi. Shout out to Freya. Shout out to Mason. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Scarlett. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Rhea. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Brody. Shout out to Valentia. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Safa. Shout out to Samira. Shout out to Brayden. Shout out to Anastasia. Shout out to Fatma. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Taya. Shout out to Major. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Ashton. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to Ian. Shout out to Jeromar. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Williamson. Shout out to Quinn. I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. I don't write the fastest, so thank you for your patience. Shout out to Zainab. Shout out to Athena. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Count Dracula. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Faith. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Iman. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Enoch. Shout out to Charles. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Isabella. Shout out to Aurora. Shout out to Noor. Shout out to Skylar. Shout out to Chance. Shout out to Jimena. Shout out to Sparky Star. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Cade Carlson. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Owen. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Lillian. Shout out to Fabian. Shout out to Atika. Shout out to Parker. Shout out to Flora. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Parks. Shout out to Amelia. Shout out to Pranavi. Shout out to Stella. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Britain. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. Shout out to Penny. Shout out to Yareli. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Brayden. Shout out to Aiden. Shout out to Chloe. Oh, I already put Emery. Shout out to Adrian. Shout out to shout out to Andrea. Shout out to Penelope. Shout out to Martin. Shout out to Tanya. Shout out to Olga. Shout out to Jalia. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Camilo. Shout out to Alex. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Kyle Crane. Shout out to Lizzie. Shout out to Mallory. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Vanessa. Shout out to Celeste. Shout out to these people. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. On to the next page. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for your support. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Hulk. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Abby. Thank you for joining again. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Darian. Shout out to Yosan. Shout out to Serena. Shout out to Carmen. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Caleb. Shout out to Khan. Shout out to Nathan. Shout out to Zai Zai or Zay Zay. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Mia Lala. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Johanna. Shout out to Charity. Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to Meshva. Shout out to, thank you, Sarah. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Sandra. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Slay Mia. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Jacqueline. Shout out to Como. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Bentley. Shout out to Luna. Whoops, I messed up. Shout out to Kavia or Kavaya. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Valerie. Shout out to Daylin. Shout out to Violet. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Rania. Shout out to Cider. Shout out to Diana. Shout out to Lucia. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to CD. Shout out to Abby. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Hanya. Shout out to Irene Ruiz. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Rain. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Alina. Shout out to Abby. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to John. Shout out to Kendall. Shout out to Johan. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Niana. Shout out to Hina. Shout out to Emmett. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Kay. Shout out to Genesis. Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Maylin. Shout out to Asil. Shout out to Carter. Shout out to Timothy. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Sky. Shout out to Emmanuel. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to Delilah. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Bill. Shout out to Braylee. Shout out to Jaina. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Esmeralda. Shout out to Joan. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Yumi. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Citra. Shout out to Kimberly. Shout out to Maddie. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Brayden Williams. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Haspen. Thank you. Shout out to Mariana. Thank you. Shout out to Miriam. Thank you all for being so kind and patient. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Haven. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Sebastian. Shout out to Abby. Shout out to Eternal. Shout out to Serenity. Shout out to Yumi. Shout out to Casey. Shout out to Teru. Oh, I missed it. Teru. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Elise. Shout out to Sahana. Shout out to William. Shout out to Allison. Shout out to Axel. Shout out to Zariah. Shout out to Gerline. Shout out to Ari. Shout out to Gwen. Shout out to Sergio Penaloza. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Serena. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Juliet. Shout out to these people. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. On to the next page. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Please check out my channel. It's Nest DIY Corner. I live stream every day around the same time as this. I also post other content. I post other content like this. I do greeting cards. I have a Choco Cat greeting card, birthday card, and cinnamon roll. Check out my channel. I post every day on YouTube Shorts. I do different types of greeting card, holiday card tutorials if you're interested. I do things like this as well as the live streaming. So if you're interested, I hope you can check it out and support my channel. Your support means the world to me. And I'm so thankful to have people that watch my content and my channel. It means a lot. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Juliet. Shout out to Jaylene. Shout out to Adriana. Shout out to Robert S. Shout out to Felix. Shout out to Aina. Shout out to Bill. Shout out to Marielli. Shout out to Mateo. Shout out to Kiki. Shout out to Carly. Excuse me. Shout out to Jax. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Isaiah. Thank you, Juliet. Shout out to Flynn. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Song. Shout out to Melody. Shout out to Cynthia. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to Zyra. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Shauna. Shout out to Matthew. Shout out to Hallie. Shout out to Nishay. Shout out to Mahi. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Asim. Shout out to Campbell. Shout out to Scarlett. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Yulia. Shout out to Brecken. Shout out to Lila. Shout out to Bentley. Shout out to Abel. Shout out to Pearl. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Rachel. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Perla. Shout out to Rosa. Shout out to Faith. Shout out to Sebastian. Shout out to Serenity. Shout out to Island. Shout out to Jacqueline. Shout out to Carl. Shout out to Sky. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Ali. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Berkeley. Shout out to Jamal. Shout out to Connie. Thank you. I try to write neat. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Mateo. Shout out to Sydney. Shout out to Melly. Happy birthday. Shout out to Curry. Shout out to Eliana. Shout out to Tommy. Shout out to Noah A. Shout out to Mateo P. I got you, but I forgot to put P. Shout out to Nash. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Jocelyn. Shout out to Tom. Shout out to Sitlali. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Travel Games. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Samantha. Shout out to Dakota. Shout out to Rafia. Shout out to Kimberly. I'm gonna put Rafia again because I kind of messed up right there. There we go. Shout out to Aqua. Shout out to Jonathan. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Rinky. Shout out to King. Shout out to Maggie. Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Wyatt. Shout out to Serenity. Shout out to Marley. Shout out to Betsy. Shout out to Diego. Shout out to Zayas. Shout out to, thank you, Juliet. Shout out to Juliet. Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to Kyrie. Shout out to Penelope. Shout out to Caleb. Shout out to Myra. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Divine. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Harper. Shout out to Angie. Shout out to Valentina. Shout out to Kasanas. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Evangeline. Shout out to Gonzalez. Shout out to family. Shout out to these people. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the shout outs. I live stream every day around the same time as this. I also post other content. I hope you can check it out. I do greeting cards. If you're interested, please check out my channel. I post on YouTube Shorts. I post on YouTube Shorts. This is one of my favorites I've done in the past. It's super cute. I do tutorials if you're interested for birthday cards and holiday cards. I also do for those of you that like Coraline, I do Coraline greeting cards too. If you remember who these are from the movie. Yeah, I do greeting cards like this. So I would truly appreciate it if you check out my channel. It's Nest DIY Corner. If you're interested, please check it out. And I just do different types of greeting cards. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to write your name. I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye.